In the year since we learned about a federal corruption investigation into Albuquerque police officers getting paid to get DWI cases dismissed, KRQE Investigates uncovered pieces of the scheme that federal court documents now confirm.
This is an important one. Your coverage and the public's response to your coverage demonstrates that.
New Mexico's U.S. Attorney Alexander Ubaez points out this court case is starting with a conviction, an admission of guilt by the first person to take the fall for RICO conspiracy charges, Ricardo Rick Mendez.
This is clearly just the beginning of the court side of this investigation, and the public can expect, and by looking at the facts, know that more will come.
Mendez was the paralegal for defense attorney Thomas Clear III's office. Mendez's voice is heard in a recording we showed you last year when Carlos Smith came forward saying APD officer Joshua Montano put him in touch with Clear's office after a DWI arrest.
Not the cheapest.
Okay.
So we charged $8,500. You could do it in payments.
And with me, you representing me, that would guarantee that this doesn't go on my record?
Yes.
According to his federal plea deal, Mendez says that's basically how the scheme worked. Officers would funnel DWI suspects to Mendez and Clear's office by confiscating the person's driver's license, or in Smith's case, his bracelet, and belonged to Mendez.
Hey, Carlos, this is Officer Montano with APD. I was just giving you a call because I don't know if you realize, but I'm sure you do that. Some of your jewelry was missing from your property from Sunday evening, and it looks like the PTC officers didn't put that in your property bag, but I have it.
We figured out how this works, and we won't let it happen again.
Mendez says if a person paid up, he'd conspire with officers to ensure they'd miss court. What's more, officers were not only paid cash for the DWI dismissal, they'd receive other benefits like free legal services, gift cards, hotel rooms, and more. And according to records, senior officers would recruit and train the next generation of officers into their DWI enterprise. Knowing this goes back decades, we asked Ubaez how the public can trust New Mexico's justice system.
Knowing that there are people watching, there are people who care. Whenever we end up in court on a criminal matter, it's dual evidence. One, right, of bad things that have happened. But two, and I think the more important and hopeful message, is that people care enough to stop those bad things and that we will hold people accountable.
Now, we know as a result of certain officers losing credibility due to this investigation, at least 200 DWI cases were dismissed in Bernalillo County over the last year. What we don't know, however, is how many cases were never properly filed or were dismissed in the decades that this DWI enterprise operated in the shadows. Jessica, back to you.
And Gabby, Ubaez was appointed by President Biden. Now with President Trump taking over, it's expected that he'll be out of office and President Trump will appoint his own person as U.S. Attorney. How will that impact this case?
Yeah, Jessica, Ubaez explained to me that while he serves at the pleasure of the president, he has not been told otherwise. So he will remain in this position as long as he can. But there are plenty of other attorneys in the Department of Justice here locally that will continue the work of the U.S. Attorney's Office. He made that clear. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. No attorneys or officers at this point have faced federal charges, and it's unclear when exactly that may happen.